Halo snacks.
We've been muted this whole time. Oh god. Oh
I'm
jeez.
sorry, Pepper. I should have caught that.
No, you're fine. I just went to check the audio for like how loud the music was, and I was like, oh, it's not on at all. Weird.
Incredibly
Uh,
silly stream.
incredibly silly stream. I was just saying right before that, I'm feeling out of it and a little funky today. Uh, uh, so sorry about the no audio, everybody.
That's 12 minutes into the
we-
stream, but then not 12 minutes from when we
No,
switched over from the.
we were
17.
talking about how we're all doing pretty good, and I'm feeling out of it. God.
Run the intro.
It looks like arcade purpose.
Pepper, are you feeling up to this game?
Yeah, let's do it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Well, Alo snacks and welcome to her web.
Yeah.
Yes. Is that the song we're going with? Also,
Do you want it to be?
if it's up to you.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's just the one I chose randomly.
So, Alo Snacks, we are once again playing The Quiet Year. This is session 4, either session 4 of 4 or 4 of 5. We'll have to see how it goes. I guess potentially longer if winter really drags out, but winter could also be over on turn 1. So, we'll see. I've been really enjoying playing this game with you folks, and I'm going to go back into doing a recap of what happened last session.
You're gonna have to start the recap over.
I am.
I'm so sorry.
Good thing I was only like 3 weeks into it. So, we started our last session with open warfare. The rebellion started because a head of the Kilova family, or one of their top lieutenants, was assassinated. We held a group discussion about that to gauge the community's feelings about it. The following week, the eldest surviving members of, the elders on Cadron started to fall ill again because they can't catch a break because they were bit by spreading vermin, the same vermin from earlier in the game, which gave them yet another disease.
Woo!
At the same time, or during the same week, fishermen discovered just a gigantic sea serpent. And they tried to alert everyone, but not everyone believed them. And many of those who did, just through a game of telephone, heard the wrong details. So the idea started spreading, but not everyone really knew what had actually been seen. The following week, the final week of summer, the rebellion burns the crops, viewing them as like part of the Kilova's power base, like what actually gave them leverage, not knowing about the Prion dependency that everyone on the islands was experiencing. So that started to be a problem immediately. Everyone is becoming sick, is what we had said at that time. The following week, the first week of autumn, there was a mass culling of the livestock in the caves, which created an abundance of meat and kind of offset that sickness. And the Kilovas started to have the tall riders that they had employed on their islands begin training troops, which gave them an actual true military force rather than just like hiring mercenaries. The following week, the Zedru showed up, a highly incompetent group of 35 or so antelope/goat people.
I love them.
They were marauders. They showed up to pillage. They did a really bad job of it, and were basically immediately defeated. It wasn't even represented mechanically. It didn't need to. They were just done immediately. And the community held yet another discussion about what to do about them. The following week, a hurricane struck the island, and people had a choice between protecting the people and protecting the supplies. They chose to protect the supplies, leading to the deaths of about 10% of the battalion's people who were hit the hardest. And I think some Kilova, although we didn't write that down, I don't think it was just battalions who were hurt. But I don't remember. If anyone else remembers, please let me know. And later in that week, some superstitious Lopai fishermen joined the Zedru in a hunt for the sea serpent, which they had been... excuse me, I misread that. Yes, in a hunt for the sea serpent. The the Zedru gave up all of their shiny, fancy, gold-plated armor in exchange for a pretty bad boat, which they went on, which they used to go hunt the sea serpents. But the following week, we had a mechanical. Our card was something about all projects failing, so everyone involved in that hunt just died or returned.
They all died.
They all died?
Yeah, they all died.
They all died. Let's see.
They all became very dead.
They all became very dead. That is true. But because they had given up their armor before going, that armor ended up in the hands of the Kilovas troops, which should help them. We then held a discussion about this to gauge community feelings about what had happened. The following week, people began to finally put together that the sickness was due to the lack of crops with the prion, the lack of the food that had the prion that they didn't know that they needed. And so everyone worked together, battalions and Kilovas, to rebuild the farms on Moonlight Island. The battalions did so by gaining a concession that a small portion of the farms would be specifically theirs. And simultaneously, the battalions began to focus on taking the relic tech that they'd already gotten and using it to research effective weapons. The following week, Iabides Kilova, Teltus's boyfriend who was left behind and thought to be killed by the Tall Riders on Dragartha before this game even started, showed up suddenly, and he was disgusted by what his family did, or had been doing. At the same time, the Kilova troops, the Kilova troops, the training program finished. They finally had like a trained army that outnumbered the battalions, but they were much more poorly armed, even despite their officers having the Zedru armor. It was only like 35 people, so it didn't amount to much. And the battalions began to use relic tech to make their own version of the Moonlight Tower, which I believe we started calling the Sunlight Tower. But they were only able to make one that was large enough to light up a single field. And finally, in the final week from last session, the battalions discovered ancient relic automatons that had the blueprints for the original Moonlight Tower programmed in, which let them complete the Sunlight Tower project immediately. And this also led to the Sunlight Tower being worshipped in a similar way to the Moonlight Tower, and led to the creation of, not the creation, but the worship of a new god called Auge. Was that how it was pronounced? I think it was.
I would need to look at my notes.
Auge?
But
it was Auge.
yeah, then probably Auge.
Okay. And it ended up being kind of incorporated into the Igle belief system. It wasn't a competing belief system. And the project was started by the outcasts of the Kilova family to research Zyphids and their bioluminescence. Zyphids were the, like, octopus sharks, I think?
Jellyfish sharks.
Jellyfish shark, that's what it was. From earlier. And that's where we left off. Woo! That was a lot to get into. How are people feeling? Is everyone kind of up to speed? Everyone feeling ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm feeling ready.
All right. This time we're going with the turn order that is on the stream, so it's going to start with me. So
Jody, then Pepper, then Bottoms, then Judith, and Zach.
yes. Whenever you're ready, Judith, can I please have my card?
Yes. 8 of clubs.
8 of clubs. Okay. Someone sabotages a project and the project fails as a result. Who did this and why? Or somebody is caught trying to sabotage the efforts of the community. How does the community respond? Let me take a look at what projects we have active right now, which I probably should have done before. Right now, there is an active project for fixing the moonlight crops. There is an active project for the battalions developing relic weapons. And there is the active project for researching the Zyphids. This is interesting. I think I definitely want to go with the first one, so a project fails. But I'm curious which one I should go with, which project. I think I could make a case for a battalion sabotaging the fixing the moonlight crops, because like, oh, now we have our own island, our own crops, we don't have to help them, basically. Or it could be that someone sabotages the battalion's research on relic weapons. And there could be a lot of interesting reasons for that. It could be about just someone not it could be the Killovas who are doing it. It could be someone unaligned or even aligned with the battalions who just doesn't want the escalation. Does anyone have any thoughts?
I have a thought.
What's your thought?
Are you writing the weeks down, or am I still doing it?
I can take care of that.
Okay.
In fact, I should be doing that right now. Thank
I
you.
wasn't sure. Now, does anyone else have any thoughts?
Just as far as what you think would be the most interesting? If not, I'll just pick something. But
I don't have anything specific.
All right.
Personally.
In that case, I'm gonna say that the battalions sabotage the moonlight crops. The moonlight tower, like, crops are no longer being built, or not built. No longer, like, it's no longer being fixed. The it's still in this kind of burned state it was in, and nobody's actively fixing it. We could probably have someone restart that project, but it would be longer because the battalions are not helping, presumably. Which I think is going to... I was going to say, I was going to give us... Contempt. Okay, that's fair. Let me give you that contempt. That is going to... Okay, there's already a crop scarcity. This would have been fixing the crop scarcity. So they're still scarce. And health is still scarce because people are still sick. Let me move this down. And let me make that red to indicate that it failed.
I can't edit this.
You can't? I gave you permission.
Request edit access.
You can go in from my account.
No.
Okay, let me... I made this, anyone who has the link can edit it. I don't know why it's being like this.
You can still change that setting.
Wait, I already... Oh, why is it being weird? I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You can go in from my account.
Would it... Oh, looks like I can do it now.
Okay. That's weird. Okay.
That is weird.
Where is the text color on this? Oh, highlight color. No, it's text color. There we go.
There you go.
There we go. That's the wrong shade. Thrilling, whatever. It's fine. We'll know what it means.
Yes.
So I guess one thing that we should figure out is is this something that all of the battalions are for, or was this something that somebody did on their own? What do people think would be most interesting?
I think it's more interesting with something that somebody did on their own, because, like, I don't think they're a political faction, but I don't think that means they're a monolith.
That's
and
true.
Like, a lot of them probably still have, like, friends and relatives in the other faction.
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
They don't want their families starving to death.
Yeah.
Is my impression.
I think that's very fair. Which I guess has to make us think about, like, what would the greater battalion response to this be? Because I was saying, like, oh, the battalions will drop out of helping rebuild it, but, like, maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they'd be like, oh, no, we're going to help you get this farm up and running.
I think most of them would still be trying to help.
Yeah.
I think.
But maybe they're not allowed to. Maybe at this point, like, this is used as, like, no, you already burned it, or you already sabotaged it, you're not coming back in here.
Okay, that could be interesting.
Which could be why whenever this project actually is started, which I don't think I'm going to do this turn, although I'll have to think about it, it will probably be a much longer term project because they don't have the battalion's help.
Does anyone else have access to this link?
Yeah, everyone should have access to this in the chat. I can also put a new link in the Discord server.
If you don't mind, that would be helpful.
Yeah, let me do that real quick. Everyone should have edit access. Let me know if you don't.
Also, these notes are on the stream for everyone else to see as we type it. You can see live writing. Historical documents being written in live.
Now let me advance the remaining projects. Because I have to remember to do that. And now I have to figure out what the action is going to be for this turn.
Could you have the actually, never mind. I was gonna ask for the Canva link, but I can just pull up Canva.
It's also, if you go in general, it's one of the pinned messages.
All right. Either way. Should be
Oh yes,
fine.
we need to
Yep.
we need to be drawing. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's half of the game.
It is half the game. That's true. It's definitely been less important to me personally, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't do it. I think, you know, I said I wasn't going to do it, but I think it's pretty obvious that people would immediately be like, no, we have to get back again to fixing the crops. I think it's going to be longer than it would have been otherwise. Before it was 5 turns, I'm going to make an executive decision and say it and break the rules slightly and say now it's 7. It's not supposed to go above 6, but fuck it.
Well, executive decision made by Jody.
Yeah.
There's so many jokes I'm tempted to make about that.
What is it?
Well, about Jody making an executive decision.
Do it. I want one.
I feel like I shouldn't be making political jokes on stream.
Do it.
I mean, we do a lot.
Leave it to a Leninist to make executive decisions for everyone else.
Well, no one else is gonna do it, and the things don't get done. Okay, Judith.
Fun times.
Actually, it might even make that 8 turns. What do you folks think?
I think 7's enough.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. That's like the entirety.
Because we don't even know for sure that we're gonna have that many cards into winter.
That's true. You're right. Like that. This is already 1 turn into winter before it gets fixed. So I think that's already a really big delay. That's fair.
A member of the battalions took individual action to sabotage the Moonlight Island Farm's restoration. Most battalions did not support this, but were barred from helping in the future because of the sabotage. Farm restoration project restarted without battalion help. It will not be finished until winter. Oh.
Ouch.
Now, Pepper, it's your turn.
It's Pepper
Alright.
turn. Hi, Orange.
You
Welcome to
ready?
the stream. I am ready for my card.
I
Hit
have
me
to
hard.
pull up on my screen.
7 of clubs. I swear these are shuffled.
7 of clubs.
Clubs. Yeah.
A project isn't just working out as expected. Radically change the nature of this project. Don't modify the project die. When it resolves, you'll be responsible for telling the community how it went. Something goes afoul, and supplies are ruined. Add a new scarcity. Jeez.
Ooh, yeah.
Both of these.
Autumn's rough.
We have
Yeah.
so many abundancies. Actually, I guess we don't have as many as we used to.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
we
we
ruined
used
a
to.
lot of those last time.
We used to have a lot
War
of
does
abundances.
that.
Yeah, war does that.
There's been a lot to have happen in a year.
It is, and the winter ones, by the way, are even more brutal. Like the winter things that can happen.
There's an anonymous chipmunk in here, Jody.
Yeah. I think it's because
Yeah, it's
either
'cause
Badams or Judy or Zach isn't signed into their Google account.
who has their mouse right next to
I'm
resources.
signed in.
I think I'm signed in.
Someone has their mouse right in between the E and S on resources, and I'm really curious who the anonymous chipmunk is.
Oh yeah, it's funny. You three are all like, there's anonymous chipmunk, anonymous tiger, and anonymous dragon. Like,
Who's
it
at the
doesn't say who
beginning?
you are.
Someone's at the beginning next to the Quiet Year session notes.
Wait, if it's anonymous on your end, then you're not. If we're all anonymous on your end, then you're not signed in.
I am signed in.
Yeah, we are.
Both of us
I'm
are.
signing.
Whatever. It's not super important.
Okay. Who has their... There's an lost tiger. Who has their thing by resources? I'm so curious. Who has their little mouse typing cursor by resources?
Not I.
Not me.
So it's Zach.
I think, I don't know.
Okay.
Zach is the anonymous chipmunk. We figured it out.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me see here. We got relics that are abundant. Transportation's abundant. Wildlife is abundant. Faith is abundant. Meat is abundant.
Mm.
So
Ooh.
I could...
Ooh, I have an idea.
I could add a... Wait. So, not a new... It says add a new scarcity, but I could also just make it some of the other ones is, like, ruined. Is what it means also.
What do you mean you can
Yeah.
make one of the other ones is ruined?
Like, one of the things that are abundant right now would become scarce.
Yeah, exactly.
Then the other option is radically change the nature of a project.
Yeah.
Active projects are the battalion's relic weapons.
So, this is your turn.
Uh-huh.
You have authorship. I have a pitch.
Okay.
What if the Moonlight Island, like, farm being gone changes people's relationship to the faith around Iglay, and, like, the abundance of faith goes away, or becomes a scarcity?
That could work.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
Alternative. Oh, okay.
Oh, no. What's your idea, Judith?
My pitch is scarcity of trust.
Ooh. That's also very good.
We could still do what you said, Jody, and have it so there is a scarcity in trust as well.
Yeah,
because
we
of what
could do that. Like,
So
if
we could do both.
if anyone wants to bend the rules to add further scarcities, I'm okay with that.
To
At
make the
any
story
point.
more interesting.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. So what went foul? Oh, I guess we know what went foul. It was what happened last week. It was the the crops being sabotaged.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So that made the scarcity in trust.
Yes.
And then your idea, what was it?
To make faith scarce because this changed
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Okay, maybe trust is the new scarcity, and then faith is just neither an abundance or a scarcity at this point, because that does feel like
Neutral.
it shouldn't go entirely away.
Okay.
And then the new
Neutral.
scarcity is trust. Yeah. Honestly, I'm surprised they were this trusting for this long.
Look at all this co-op typing we're doing. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Okay. Look at this good stuff happening. Orange says, I got my computer back. Woohoo! I'm so happy for you. That is good. Good to have a compooper. A compooper. Comploofer.
Pepper.
What? Cum pepper.
Pooper.
A cum pepper. Excuse me.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
You're the one that said cum pepper.
I didn't mean it like that.
Aw, jeez.
All right, this is something that I'm wondering about, kind of thinking of this in terms of, like, it wasn't just that scarce, or that people began to have less faith in Iglay. I'm wondering if Iglay views this as some kind of betrayal as well.
Oh,
Like, maybe that's part of
Wait,
what
so is
this is.
Iglay an actual thing?
that was what I was wondering.
Yeah, like, maybe it was unclear, and now it's less clear. Or now it's more clear, rather. Like things, like, it wasn't... Things became
So,
worse, but not just because of, like...
I guess there is this thing I haven't really talked much about with this group,
Yes.
but a part of this world is that knowledge and belief in a thing can make it almost happen. That has been an aspect of my universe, is that like heavy certainty in a thing, in a mass, like a huge mass of people, can make that thing, like, it can affect reality.
Right, it's American Gods rules.
Yeah. Or Shin Megami Tensei. I'm for it.
So that could be a thing.
Yeah.
It could have created this creature.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mechanicalize this yet because it's not my turn and we haven't done like a discovery or something for it. But this is something, I guess, that maybe we should just keep in our own minds as storytellers. That is like, it's not just people losing faith. It is like Iglay in some way turning her back. I'm using she her for Iglay. I don't know if that's but
The Greek word is feminine, but
okay.
So previous week's sabotage led to a loss of trust between factions, creating a new scarcity. It also changed people's relationship to Iglay, removing the abundance of faith. I will say, so what are the actions again? It's discover something new, discussion, or start a project, right?
Yes. In fact, let me advance the projects.
So, like, something I have a lot of fascination in writing and stuff like that, and universe building, and kind of how I like to have this universe work, is that, and it doesn't necessarily have to be something we incorporate into this, because this is for all of us to do, but it's like how kind of time and reality isn't exactly linear. It can be any shape, and things, like, all of time is happening at the same time even. So, like, the belief and certainty of Iglay existing makes Iglay exist, and also vice versa. Iglay already existed, and
so it made Iglay exist retroactively.
Yes, because like of how, like I said, that like thinking of time as like this 3D idea, 3-dimensional idea, rather than like this 1D line, you know. What does everyone else think about that?
I think that's interesting.
I do too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's a bootstrap paradox thing.
yeah, I like this sort of stuff. So that could be something we could think about now that we know, at least as us being the writers of this story, is that like Iglay does actually exist. This isn't just this is no longer, or was never, an imaginary thing, I guess. It was created
Yeah, I
by
like
the
that.
people, and also vice versa.
Yeah.
The belief was created by...
It's
Yeah,
all
I love
cyclical.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Thank you.
Time is a flat circle.
Not even flat. I like it being 3D. Make it even more messed up.
I know, I was just making a reference.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what are you thinking for your action?
So
Did we make sure to advance project clocks?
Yes, I did.
I
Okay.
have a thought about... There's this one I've been wanting to do going into the stream, but also I don't know if I should do that one yet. So
Oh, also, I forgot to mention, I'm taking a contempt. Go ahead.
Okay. Contempt for what?
Just contempt for, like, with everyone kind of losing trust, just kind of like a reflection of that, you know?
Okay.
I thought it was God is real contempt.
Well, that's another thing, is like, something that, this is something Jody and I talked about, is like, gods exist, but also they're not like this actual, like in this world, they're not actual, like, how do we put it? They're like living things.
Yeah.
They're not like,
Which I think is true in a lot of fantasy settings as well.
yeah.
Like, I think in our next system, they'll represent the magic types divine and profane, but that doesn't, and so they're a different type of thing, but they're not like omniscient or omnipotent.
Yeah. And things like that can exist, but they're still not necessary. They're still like, alive and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to describe, but like they are a thing. They exist, but not in the like magical sort of way. They kind of like exist solidly, I guess. So kind of here then, I'm thinking, if I want to take an action, should it have something to do with Iglay?
It could.
You
Would
get
this-
authorship for this turn.
So like also we have to make a lot of this has to be around the community. Does Iglay now count as part of the community?
Yeah, it could be. If like, I was avoiding making this mechanical because it wasn't my turn.
Uh-huh.
But if that's what you want to do with your turn, you totally can. Like, if you want to make this actually a discovery about
Can I-
Iglay in some way.
Say, I was gonna say start a project and it's gonna be like her beginning to exist, but also at the same time, she already existed is kind of like the point.
Hmm.
I like that.
Yeah.
So how about let's do that anyways, but with the knowledge that she already did exist beforehand.
So making a project for Iglay to begin to exist.
I have a fun way to phrase it.
So
Yeah, how do you want to phrase it?
A project for Iglay to pull herself through 4-dimensional space-time.
Let's do it.
okay, so the one little bit of pushback I'm going to give is that is not an action the community is taking, and projects are supposed to represent like community action by multiple people.
I have a pushback against that.
Okay.
It is a community action. They just don't know they're doing it because they're the ones causing this belief.
Okay. So like the disappointment and loss of faith that people are feeling is part of what brings Iglay into existence, is what you're saying.
Well, this idea that Iglay already existed, but it is because of the future. Like, Iglay existed previously, but it was because of their thoughts now that made that happen previously.
Okay.
Because 3D time and all that.
Okay, but then does it even make sense for this to be a project that would go into the future?
That's what I was wondering to ask everybody here.
I think rather than it being a project, it could be a discovery.
Yeah, I think that makes more sense.
So, would that mean, like, people discover that she's real, though? Because they already think that.
It could be a discovery of something that is more tangible about Iglay that leads them to be like, okay, we already believed in her, but this is like
maybe she speaks to one of them or something.
Yes, that could be.
Ooh, I have another aspect to this that's could be really interesting. Because she is a goddess created by them, which means she's going to reflect their culture, despite the fact that they think that this goddess came from this other culture, which is the ancient human ships. So, like, it's going to reflect what they think this ship is rather than what it actually is. So her existence and her appearance and all that stuff, rather than her looking like an ancient human, she's probably going to look...
Oh, she's going to look like what they think humans look like.
We could make her look like the thing I was talking about. Actually, that could lead... It's all coming together.
Oh my god! I love this. She's this horrifying, like, mummified
She's a skin-wrapped creature. I actually...
Oh my god.
I put on the thumbnail because I wanted this stream to be about... I wanted to bring up the skin wrapping at something, and I had a separate idea, but this one's way better.
Can you share it in the Discord? Because
Yes. Let me just put the link to the stream, even. Because it's in the thumbnail. It's in general. So, who here has heard of the Russian sleep experiment? The creepypasta.
God, I'm just looking at the thumbnail. Oh my god.
I wanted...
That's Iglay. That's now Iglay.
That is Iglay.
Okay.
Because that is their... Like, the Russian sleep experiment, like, creature, like... It's the thing that people see always in the thumbnails of Russian sleep experiment videos, for anyone in the audience. But, like... Or just look at the thumbnail of the stream. The weird black and white image next to me. That is what they kind of picture the monstrous, like, humans to look like, because they skin wrap them. They have only found bones, and so they wrap the bones a little bit too tight, and then it looks a little freaky. because they don't know
This
that
is the
there's
polar
muscle mass.
opposite, and I'm not, so I don't think you should share it on stream, but I'm just gonna show this, because this is, for some reason, the phrase skin wrapping made me think of this. This is Xipe Totec, the Aztec flayed god.
Interesting.
He wears the flayed skin of a man.
Oh,
That's
freaky.
hardcore.
So, also, did anyone see that post I put up before in ideas and suggestions some days ago? I'm gonna put that on stream
I
real
did
quick.
not.
I'm actually just gonna do.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I love this. So,
let's just look at this. It says, I can't wait until future dolphin archaeologist draw shrink-wrapped human paleo art. 10 million 80 dolphin voice. Behold, a man. Other dolphin voice. I can't believe we're still pretending humans were hairless. Give them hair, you cowards.
This is the most Tumblr post I've ever seen.
And then,
Said with love.
don't like how this post implies dolphins take over in the future. And then someone says, they already rule the world, blah, 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 but that doesn't really matter. It's mainly this drawing here I liked.
Yeah.
So, like, the thing I put in the thumbnail, but also, like, I do like the idea of them putting fur or even feathers because that's what they have on it.
That's interesting.
So this is kind of what I'm thinking they think humans look
yeah,
like.
I'm imagining they're like, oh my god, they must be so cold from how skinny they are. We should give them like they must have had really downy feathers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they are thinking, and because they think and believe this, Iglay does actually look like this.
I love this. I love this so much.
That's good.
I'm really glad.
Pepper, this is brilliant.
Thank you.
So we're saying the discovery is that Iglay spoke to someone, or what?
I feel like Iglay probably even like showed herself to someone and looked like this.
Who did she show herself to?
I'm gonna kind of bring some of what my original thought was. So I'm gonna say some teens going through the woods one day, see her in the distance, like see in the distance in the woods, only for like a minute or so, and don't really get a good look at her, which is why also there's gonna be an argument about whether she has fur or feathers or none. It's gonna be like this mysterious idea, but they do think that this was Iglay because maybe it was coming down around the Moonlight Tower. This shape.
So she shows herself to some teens.
To some teens who live on Moonlight Island.
I'm sorry. All I can think of now is because they're teens. I'm just like Church of Iglay youth pastor voice.
We could actually.
Who else was lit?
Iglay
You
sits
know-
backward on chair.
You know what we could actually do is maybe make it a little bit better and make it like, since you kind of bring up teens, like, oh, it's just babies. What if they show it to like one of the like smart people? I guess like it shows us to their equivalent of like a doctor or something, and not like a medical doctor, but like a degree smart like science doctor thing. I don't know what the words are.
Do they have those? Maybe it would be Jimmy.
That could be.
She's an archaeologist-ish.
You you mentioned feathers. There was a massive bird corpse found.
There was. So like they already found human corpses and they found the bird corpse. And was there another? I think there might have been another like corpse. That
They found a massive other thing as well. I think that was just the fish thing that
Right.
they went to hunt.
Yes, you're right.
So can I make this even more crazy?
Sure.
Yes, although I kind of think we should wrap this turn up soon.
What if I comes down and then like, just so people don't like think the teens are lying, I like comes down and actually just like lands on the bird corpse and then takes the entire thing away.
Oh my god.
That way, like people are like, okay, these teens aren't just messing with us.
Pitch. Instead of taking it away, he burns it.
Okay.
I don't know. The
Burns
whole
it with
divine
moonlight.
light thing.
Yeah. This is how ideas are made.
Yeah, I love how much this whole setting is just, this whole game is just us like cooperatively coming up with these ideas. It's
It's
so
my
fucking
favorite
awesome.
sort of thing.
All right. So I guess that will probably be it
Let's-
for this turn.
I want to read that.
Okay.
So, previous week's sabotage led to a loss of trust between factions, creating a new scarcity. It also changed people's relationship to Aigle, removing the abundance of faith. Aigle also viewed the sabotage as a betrayal of her. Discovery: Aigle shows herself to some teens on Moonlight Island. She looks like the low-pie idea of humans, shrink-wrapped with downy feathers. Aigle burns the giant bird corpse from previous turns.
So, on some level, I said there was like a removal of the abundance of faith. That might actually like maybe that abundance comes back because Aigle has
Yeah.
revealed herself.
I'm gonna add to that as a show of power.
Okay. I'm bringing that back to an abundance of faith, unless anyone else feels strongly otherwise.
I'm cool with it.
Hot take. I think in addition to that, we should add an abundance of fear.
Yes. Should that be framed in terms of a scarcity of something else? Just because like scarcities are good and abundance is bad, usually. Or you know what I'm saying.
I don't know how you would frame that as a scarcity.
I think it's kind of fine as is, honestly.
Scarcity of feelings of safety.
We could make it an abundance of fear that we treat as mechanically a scarcity.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like, let's not get hamstrung by the mechanics. Alright, I think Bottoms is up next.
I
Yes.
think
Yes.
so.
Alright, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
6 of clubs. Okay, I must not have shuffled these well enough. I swear I shuffled them.
I mean, it just so happens that the ones that are remaining happen to be next to each other anyway. Like,
Yeah.
Do you want me to go with it anyways?
Yeah. I mean,
It's-
it's what pulled up.
It is
so-
unique, yeah. Introduce a dark mystery among the members of the community, or conflict flares up among community members, and as a result, a project fails.
A dark mystery did just show up.
No, that was a bright mystery.
Oh,
I kind of don't want more failure, to be honest. So
That's
I'll probably
fair.
go the first one.
all right. What's the dark mystery?
Maybe the rumor about the monster develops more. There could be
Okay.
like a folktale that it's living among the people or something.
is this the monster, like the sea monster, or Aigle, or the bird, or?
The sea monster, maybe like a. People think it's like a trickster god or something.
Interesting. So now, like,
Okay.
they're thinking of it as like fully terrestrial, also. Like, it's
Like
just...
a shapeshifter kind
Oh,
of.
okay,
Like
I
there's
see.
so it has so many different forms that everybody's saying that it could even be a person in the community.
That's interesting.
This could develop into another deity of some sort if it goes further and further. Also, some thought I had about Aigle, if Aigle is going to be like existing like this, is as like what this is their god of humans, basically. So like this could interestingly develop with when the Cognizant Empire inevitably comes down here and realize that this is the god that they made to represent them, and they're probably not going to be too happy about that.
This is about Aigle or about the sea serpent?
Aigle.
Aigle. Well, did the Cognizant Empire make it to represent them?
Well, no, just
No,
I
no.
think the point is they would recognize this is supposed to be a human.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But like, I
Yeah.
think they could also just
some kind of
change how
weird bird. I don't know.
forcibly
Whatever.
change how people depict Aigle.
They could, because
Yeah.
that affects how that's
And that
how
could-
this world works.
And that could change Aigle, which
Yeah.
could also make her feel very particular things
It's
about that.
it's the Aigle equivalent of white Jesus.
Oh my god, you're right.
All right, so people have begun to conceive of these sea serpents as a shape-shifting trickster deity living among the people. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Adams, do you want to name this creature? Been around for a bit. What are the people calling it?
Sabuska.
Sabuska.
How do you spell that?
Sabooska.
Okay.
Sabuska.
So next we have to advance the projects, and one of the project is done. The battalion's relic weapons. Does anybody remember whose project that was?
I feel like that was probably mine.
All right. So I guess you get to tell us what that looks like.
I mean, I think it's mostly stuff pretty similar to the weapons that way back Taro used to shoot Teltas.
Mhm. So needlers,
but-
basically.
Yeah, but there's also like larger scale ones that are sort of like cannons, like you know,
Like the skewer in Halo Infinite.
wait, there's this
Probably bigger than that even. But
Bigger than the skewer?
yeah, probably like not handheld.
I think
is what you.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
These ones. I'm sending an image to the group chat. This thing from Star Wars.
Oh, I love those. I love those droids. Wait, are there? Yeah, I love them. Like
Yeah, it's like that, but like kind of sleeker, and it shoots giant needles.
And are they autonomous the way these are?
No, they're not. So yeah. That's about it. I mean, I feel like that's pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's definitely gonna be abundance or scarcity of something. We already have a lot of conflict. I don't know that we can say no. This is what makes it an abundance of conflict.
Yeah, no. This is more to just put them on par with.
Okay. Okay. All right. And now Badams, or I'm sorry, Judith, were you done?
I was done. Yeah.
Okay. Badams, now you get to take your action.
I don't have anything specific in mind I would want to do for my action, so I'll hold a discussion on like the people's belief on the god, I suppose.
Okay. So you have to start that with either
Or not the god, but the monster. I guess
The
it's not
sea-
necessarily a god yet.
Sabuska.
Yeah.
Okay, so start this with either a statement or a question. And if you start with a statement, you will be able to finish with a question later.
Hmm. Like, I feel more conscious about my actions when I feel like I'm being watched.
Is it
Then it would be
Yeah,
you,
we're going in
Judith.
turn order, so it's you, Judith.
okay? Sabuska is the trickster god, and the god of betrayal. He cannot be trusted.
I already know where the profane magic type is coming from in the next game.
But you have no idea.
Okay, Zach?
I don't think the waters are safe at this time.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I don't think the waters are safe at this time.
Okay. Okay, and now me. I mean, if there is some kind of trickster around, that could be an opportunity. Like, people in power don't like tricksters, and that can be beneficial for the rest of us. Pepper?
So this is people calling this thing a god at this point, it looks like.
Or at least some people are.
Yeah. Oh, dang, I'm kind of lost. I don't know. Let me think. I was going to do, like, in response to the first thing of I feel more conscious about my actions when I feel like I'm being watched. In response to that, being like, can't that be a good thing? As a reply to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he will, maybe us being conscious of our actions will keep us in line.
All right.
My turn?
It is your turn.
All right.
Wait, I thought
Nine
you
of
what?
clubs.
you said when it was a statement, Badams got to say another thing.
No, if it's a
No,
question.
it's when it's a question.
You did say a statement.
Oh,
earlier.
I was wrong then. I'm sorry, Badams.
Mhm.
If you had something else to
No,
say,
you're
you
good.
can, because I did say that.
No. I kind of clicked it in my head
Okay.
because I remember the other discussions we've done.
All right.
So 9 of clubs. The community works constantly, and as a result, a project finishes early, or a group goes out to explore the map more thoroughly and finds something that had been previously overlooked.
Speaking of the map, we
Ooh.
should be drawing. We really
Yeah,
should be.
and I do have a fun idea for that one, which is just that they find the southern shores of the Cognatus Empire. They don't know what's there, but they found out that there's land there.
Interesting.
Is that a good pitch? Is that pushing it a little far?
I think
that's fine.
the only part of it that I don't like is that I feel like they might have already known that there was land there.
Yeah,
in fact, they were already trading with it,
haven't
weren't they?
established that they.
I
We
did-
haven't actually established that they have like seen it though.
That's fair.
I did think that they were trading with it. I thought that was something that was said a while
Yeah,
ago.
like week 1 or week 2, that was the thing we established, I think. Like,
Okay.
Like, they don't know about the Empire. They especially don't know that it's expansionist or a threat to them in any way, but they know that there is land there, and they know there's people there.
Okay.
But they don't know there's humans there.
Oh, yeah, they don't know there's humans, that's true, because they haven't seen humans.
Okay, so yeah, let's say that not only that they find no it's like the thing I wanted to do with that doesn't work then.
Well, what were you thinking of doing? We can find a way to adapt it.
Well, no, I want to provide like a natural. I don't want the like Cognatus Empire to just show up out of nowhere when they have had no contact with them. I don't want them to just suddenly sweep in and conquer them when they don't even have a reason to know that the Notosians are even there.
I see.
So like, I am going to say that they find a Cognatus Empire military outpost on the southern shores, and they, I don't know, just like start trying to establish contact.
So this would mean that they probably do see humans now at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
But maybe they don't even parse them as humans because they have like a very specific idea in mind of what humans look like.
Well, I don't think they even have. I don't think they even. Maybe. I don't know. I think I don't think we necessarily need to decide yet what they think they are.
Okay, so they have found like southern Cognatus. And what else?
And they've set up like a little beachhead to try and make contact. Like this is just basically like a small group of like battalion traders, let's say.
As in betraying the battalions?
No, traders.
Oh, traders. Okay.
Yeah.
Really glad that we clarified that one.
Yeah.
Explorers from Notasia, battalion traders. Reach southern Cognatus and have set up an outpost to make contact.
Okay.
Does that sound right?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's advance the project clocks.
I believe the Zyphid research is finishing. Whose was that?
Was that mine?
It might have been.
It's either yours or Badam's, maybe.
What was it again?
The Zyphid research to like looking into their bioluminescence.
Oh, I suppose that was mine.
Yeah, that sounds like yours.
I think it was.
I was on to something when I made that, but I can't remember what I was on to.
Maybe they made flashlights or something.
Oh, it was supposed to be gear to explore the northern island.
Northern Lion?
Yeah, the northern lion.
Does this island mean anything to you?
Oh god.
Just
And
so jokes
yeah.
for the three of us.
Just so you know, Vadams, Jody and I have been continuously referencing that ever since. For,
Oh,
like,
that makes me
couple
so
months
happy.
now.
Okay, so they
Every once in a
use-
while, I'll do the inflection of like picking up a drink and taking a heavy breath.
And then not sipping it.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, it was for the island that's always night in the northern part of the islands.
Oh.
right. Let's give that island a name.
So if we have Moonlight Island
And we have
then
Sunlight
Sun
Island.
Island,
Yeah.
this could be
Something edgy.
Nighttime Island.
Let me know if you want a Greek word to run with.
I think if we're having if there's Moonlight Island and Sunlight Island, I think this should probably follow in line with that since it's the same type of island basically.
Well, I think it wasn't for like supernatural reasons. It was because it was a really dense jungle, wasn't it?
That was it. Yeah.
Okay, then maybe not.
The canopy is like so thick, but there's still like stars when you go in and look up.
Oh, so then Starlight
Specifically
It, like,
mentioning
it
the canopy
simulates the
gives me
night
an
sky.
idea.
Starlight Island.
Canopica. It both is referencing the canopy, but also like referencing a canopic jar. There's something like kind of ominous about it.
So if this is still
Thoughts?
well, there's that or Starlight Island. I kind of like Starlight Island to be honest, but it's not up to
Nice.
me.
I feel like Starlight Island is not as. Never mind.
Hey, cards on the table. Both of my girlfriends call me Starlight, and I don't know that I want the island called that.
Oh.
Okay, we don't have to do that.
I also just think it's a little too cheery for something that's being like investigated at this point in the game.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Badams, do you have any strong feelings?
Not particularly.
Canopica? Was that the one, Judith?
Yeah.
We can go with that.
So that's
No,
CNOPICA.
Yeah.
CANOPICA.
Yeah.
I spelled it wrong verbally, but I had it right on the thing.
PICA.
Okay, so
Now it is
Yeah.
my action.
yeah, I guess we can't have an actual discovery on that island until someone chooses to do a discovery. So, yeah.
Yeah. Which actually, speaking of,
Oh, were you gonna do that?
yeah, my term was actually gonna be a discovery, and I already had an idea of what it's gonna be, and I've decided to make it on Canopica. I need to go double check a note. What's the on in the forests of Canopica? What was his name? Does anyone remember the name of the Bemas? In the forests of Canopica, Bemas, the person who basically betrayed his village to the Tall Riders to strike a deal to get his family out. encounters Sabuska in its true form.
A lot of like divine revelations in the last like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I feel like this is the time for that. So he encounters Sabuska in its true form, which is a writhing mass of snakes, and
I hate it. Love it. Thank you.
And it makes him its prophet. And to clarify, it is the god of it's the god of deceit and betrayal.
So specifically, the Lopi's god of deceit and betrayal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have a question about that.
Yeah.
So this serpent thing that was originally what everyone saw, right? And ended up killing like some of the people on the boat who went for it. Is this that thing, or is this manifested completely separately based off of the beliefs of what they thought that thing was?
My answer is that is way above the pay grade of what a Discover action is doing.
Oh, yeah,
And
well-
also, I like maintaining the mystery.
Okay, I think that's
Okay.
fair then. This is good. I like the direction this is all going in. All right. So I guess Judith, are you done?
Yeah.
All right, then Zach, it's your turn.
Before we do that, I also have a question about the bioluminescent stuff for Bottoms.
Yes.
So they finished creating a bioluminescent thing so they could like explore that place. What is that thing exactly?
Oh, good question.
Maybe they can like bottle it with magic or something
Okay.
like that.
So they just have like little lights, like little jars that are filled with light that they're using to explore with.
Maybe they can extract it as like a mist and it can be captured in certain
Okay.
things.
So why is that better for exploration than like torches would be? I mean, we can easily find a reason. I'm not saying this to put you on the spot.
I guess I don't have a particular thing in mind.
Because
It
unlike
could-
torches, they don't go out.
True. And I guess they can't set anything on fire.
I guess like the same reason that you would use like a flashlight over a torch.
That's
It's,
fair.
it's always lit.
Maybe it's just also really bright.
Hmm.
What about the idea like of it being a flashlight? What if they make these jars specifically have like a curved side to it so they could like actually like point the light in a direction, like magnify
That
it?
makes sense.
So they have like a flashlight like device.
That makes a lot of sense.
Like it's like a mini lighthouse.
Yeah.
We should probably add that to the notes as well. And while Jody does that, Judith, do you want to draw the card for Zach?
Queen of Clubs.
Queen of
Queen of
Clubs.
Clubs. Okay. Let me open it. See, okay.
Oh, this is a rough one.
Disease spreads to the community. Choose one. You spend a week quarantining and treating the disease. Project Ice are not reduced this week. Or nobody knows what to do about it. Add health and fertility as a scarcity.
So we do already have health as a scarcity, but not fertility.
So basically, do you want to make a curable disease or an incurable disease?
Let's be nice. Let's do curable.
All right, so you think that they spend the week quarantining?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's fair.
Hey, at least that means the war isn't progressing.
At least it means the war isn't progressing.
This week is the equivalent of 2020.
So where did this disease come from? What is the disease?
Could it be from those rats, Zach?
That would make sense.
Yeah.
The
Especially
vermin.
because like they already got people sick on Cadron.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they just
Yeah.
made it over here.
Disease spreads.
I've been using different music for each week, or not week, for each stream so far, and progressively the music is getting a little bit creepier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today's stream music is a little bit uncomfy.
So we're not advancing project dice this week, but also I think I might have forgotten at some point to add one to the Moonlight Crops project, because like it's only at 2 of 7, and it should be like much more done by now, I thought, unless I counted wrong.
It should be at 3.
Yeah, it should be at 3. That's right. That makes sense. Okay, but we're not advancing it for this week. All right. What's your action then, Zach?
My action, I'll go with the healthcare. I guess the action is not discovery. It's project.
Mm-hmm.
Project for better healthcare. For cures to said diseases. Or search for cures.
All right. So, just to clarify mechanically, the disease isn't going to be a problem past this week, unless it comes up again on another card. But that can still be something that people want to deal with. That makes sense, especially because this is the second time that this has happened.
Yeah.
Although I guess they wouldn't know it happened on Cadron, but whatever.
It could also be something to do with the prions, maybe.
It could.
Maybe they just want to study like health in general.
Yeah.
Maybe in hopes of turning it into an abundance after the project's done.
That makes sense. Does that sound good for you, Zach?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, Queen.
Yes, Queen. Queen Jody.
All right. Let me know when you're ready for the last card of autumn.
1 second. Before we start,
Sorry.
before we start the last week of autumn, do people? Oh, actually, how long of a project is that?
Yeah. Probably 4 weeks.
That sounds right to me.
Yeah. Improve healthcare plus cure the disease plus understand the prion better.
Yeah. I didn't want to be creative with this one.
That's okay.
Before we get to winter, we could play winter such that like, even if we get the King of Spades in the first week of winter, we still finish the entire like first round. Do people want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, just want to read out that
Maybe I feel like okay.
we could just see how we feel when we get to it.
Yeah. That's fair.
So the week we just had, week 36, disease spreads from the vermin. Everyone quarantines and projects do not advance. Project improve healthcare plus cure the disease plus understand the prion better begins. I'm going to add to this a little bit. From the vermin who came from Cadron.
Well, they weren't originally from Cadron. They were originally from the island next to the Moonlight Island, but they spread throughout all of the islands.
Okay, so just from the vermin. Okay.
And they caused the disease previously on Cadron.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, let's see what we have in store for the end of autumn.
All right.
For you,
4
Jody.
of clubs.
4 of clubs. The strongest among you dies. What caused the death?
Oh, shit.
Wait, didn't we do this? This looks familiar.
No.
I don't think so.
Hang on.
No. No, you're thinking of you find a body. Do people recognize who it is?
No, I thought the weakest among you dies was something that we did already, and that was like, oh, the oldest person. Remember?
I do vaguely remember that, actually.
Hold on, let me look at that. That was early in autumn, I think.
Nope.
That might have been in summer.
Yeah, you're thinking of a similar one.
I am. That was the end of summer. Okay, never mind. All right. So.
Who's it? Who's going?
It's me.
No, I mean like who's dying?
Oh. It's me. I'm dying.
No. My love.
Can you simply be less strong?
Yeah. Stop being as cool. It'll make you live.
This is tough. Does anyone have any thoughts about this one?
Yeah.
I think strongest would really put a big hinder on things in an interesting way.
Yeah.
It just depends on who that strongest is. I'd say it'd be like someone strong from the Kilovas or someone strong from the battalion.
Well, it doesn't have to be
Yeah, I
one.
think-
The strongest among you can be more than one person.
That's true.
I feel like it's more interesting if it's just one person.
Because like the direction I was gonna go in was more like a lot of the strongest fighters on both sides of the war just had a battle and many of them died.
That could be also.
Well, but then that just kind of brings things back to square one.
That does. You're right.
What about something to do with the what is it? The freaking tall riders that have been working for the Kilovas. That's also an option. They're pretty strong.
I was also gonna make the pitch of Kilte, since she's, even though she doesn't lead the Kilovas, she kind of like is the power behind the Kilovas.
She's definitely the face of it.
Yeah. She's centralized a lot of power behind herself.
That is true. That's
What if she
interesting.
dies from the like Prion thing?
Oh. But you've got to feel like she would have more access to this food than anyone else would.
Yeah, probably. Wait.
What if Sabuska is in some way responsible?
Or what if Keltas dies?
Ooh.
He's probably the only person who really spans both sides.
Is that the like?
That's her son, the
Yeah.
guy who runs the like healing centers.
Yeah.
Oh, right. As people are trying to get better with like healing and healthcare.
Yeah.
It's- yeah. Ooh, yeah.
And both sides can try and use him as a martyr.
That. Ooh, yeah. I like that. Yeah. Let's go with that. How does he die though?
That should be. No, you.
I
never mind.
mean,
Yeah.
do you
Tell
want
us-
my explanation?
No, I was just kind of thinking out loud.
Okay.
I'm wondering if he
He
dies.
was shot less than a year ago.
Oh, sorry.
He was
He
shot
was
a while
shot
ago.
less than a
That's
year
true.
ago.
I'm wondering if he's killed by the war, but in a way where it's a little unclear which side killed him. So both sides can spin it as, look what the other people did. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like was he doing battlefield medicine? I don't know. Like,
Maybe.
I'm not feeling super strongly about this one either way, so I'm very open to pitches. But
I don't know what the direct impact would be, but like I do like the idea of like someone, whoever it is, being the strongest, dying for like a very nothing reason. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I think in that vein, him just his wounds from like 6 to 9 months ago just starting to open up and getting infected, and him dying of sepsis.
yeah, and like maybe from overwork
69
even.
months?
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the battalions will blame his mother for overworking him, and the Kilovas will blame Taro for shooting him.
6 to 9 months.
69 months.
Whoa.
Solid Madagascar 2 reference right there. Just dies of sepsis. Ah, jeez.
Okay.
Sepsis is the worst.
Mhm.
I'll do it.
He just gets a really bad kidney stone.
Yeah, just you hate to see it.
Really awful way to go.
Is it better or worse if you have a cloaca? Like,
Probably worse.
okay.
Likely worse.
Can we have that as another out of context quote from Jody?
Sure.
Is it better or worse if you have a cloaca?
So I
Well,
And every day, maybe better. When you have sepsis, I don't know.
Everything comes out of there.
I advanced the project clocks, and now it's time for my action. Sorry, Zach, what were you saying, John?
I was gonna add to quote spicy pepper type.
Oh, okay.
Is it better or worse if you have a cloaca, Jody? 2K24.
Cool. Thank you, Pepper. Always in my corner.
Yeah, I want to support you.
I feel like we have no projects, so I should start a project on something.
That would probably be a good idea.
I feel like... Okay, question about the whole BMUS situation. Has he begun to spread the word of Sabuska, you think? Like, are people...
I think it's a mystery cult.
Okay.
Cthulhu.
Feels like they're plotting
Yeah.
more than actively trying to get members.
So I was thinking it would be something related to either exploring the island further, that is Kanopika, or in some way advancing the faith of Sabuska, whatever form that takes. But I don't know. I'm a lot less decisive this week than I usually am.
That's okay.
I have an idea.
What's your idea?
The followers of Auge are like, everyone else is making contact with God, so they start a project to try and make contact with Auge.
That's actually really good.
I do like
That's
that.
really, really good.
Especially when
I feel
Igle's
left
actually...
out.
Especially when Igle is kind of upset right now.
Yeah.
Maybe just to, like, appease her and get her to, like, come back to them.
Well, no, wait, no. We're talking about two different gods.
What?
Like Auge, the Sunlight Island.
The Battalion
Yeah,
god, the, like, machine god they made.
Oh, how many gods do we have?
3 now.
3.
Okay. Auge, Igle, Sabuska.
Or probably like a few dozen, depending on if you count the individual snakes as different gods. That was a bad joke.
Maybe it's a hive mind.
No. Okay, I guess.
Sabuska rocking up like, I am a monument to all your sins.
Zach, you're gonna get that probably next week. You're gonna
Yeah.
get that reference. Or this week, I guess.
Okay, noting that.
Gravemind is so freaking cool. I've been doing a stream series with Zach now to introduce him to the Halos. I just show Halo to all the people I like. Judith, we gotta finish Halo 2.
Yeah. No, we finished Halo 2.
Not what I meant.
Okay.
I meant Halo as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, last time you guys tried to play
ODST.
ODST, I
and
ruined it by my computer being a piece of shit.
Yeah, you piece of shit.
It's all your fault.
Yeah.
So, contacting Auge, do we think that's a quick or a slow process?
I mean, contacting God seems to be easier than anyone thought.
Yeah, that's true. But, like, yeah, you know what? Maybe it's like a 3-4 week project. 3.
Let's go 3.
Yeah. Especially because this
Especially
might be...
since we're kind of in the end game here.
Yeah. All right. Winter is here.
3, 4, 3.
All right.
And it is
You ready?
Pepper's turn.
Oh my gosh, it's my turn. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm gonna be the first winter.
All right. 10 of spades.
Alright, let me pull up the winter thing. Where is this?
I have it on my screen if you want to...
No, I don't have it.
It's under rules.
Rules. Winter. It was 8?
And by the way, 10.
10.
And by the way, we've said that whenever the king gets pulled, we're gonna finish out the round.
We were talking about maybe, like,
We'll just see how we feel.
seeing how we feel at that point.
Okay.
So, 10 of spades this winter. In preparation for the coming year, the community begins a huge undertaking, a star project that will take at least 5 weeks to complete. Okay. 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 I feel like just saying finishing the fight isn't probably can't probably count.
I mean, like, that's also kind of where my mind was going. We could probably at least start in that direction with this if that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, let's just go with like getting to the final fight.
Well, especially because historically, like, wars didn't really continue over winter. Well, I guess they also didn't really continue over fall because people were like, no, I have to go back and do my harvest, but this is weird in that way.
But especially winter.
Yeah, especially winter. Like, we could say, like, the war's on hold because it's winter, and this is, like, people kind of going back to their families and talking and, like...
Preparing for the finale of the battle.
Preparing for the finale, or kind of being like, I don't want to do this anymore.
So, I want to say that I like, see what everyone else is thinking. I'm kind of assuming that where we are right now is pretty, like, warm. Like, tropical.
That's fair.
I don't know how, like, the seasons would actually work here, but, like, I'm imagining that there's probably not any actual snow around.
I mean, this is a very big area. Like, it might be very different between the southern islands and the northern islands.
That's true.
Yeah. An important thing to remember also is the southern hemisphere does have snow. It's only near the equator that things are not cold.
Pepper,
People forget that.
Can you pull up the overall world map?
Yes.
There is a chronic problem with people from the northern hemisphere building fantasy worlds where everything in the south is warm.
Okay, that's good to know.
All right.
It's a very global north problem.
So we're assuming that the equator here works on like the same, basically the same way that it does on Earth. In that case, it's like the southern parts of Natosia look like they would get actually pretty cold. Looking at this map.
Yeah, down here.
Yeah.
Well, hey, no one's going to Kadron anyway.
Well, true. The northern parts, I think that they're still tropical, but there's probably still a noticeable, like, seasonal difference,
Yeah, it's like winter in South Carolina.
Yeah. Or I'm wondering, like, I don't know nearly enough about the ecology, but, like, would they have, like, a rainy and a dry season instead of, like, the 4 seasons? And if so, maybe in the rainy season it's just really hard to do anything.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Okay.
Like, it's real
Although that
wet.
also comes with the implication of if it's the rainy season, all of the crops are going to rot in the fields.
Oh, true.
They have... Well,
it's the rainy season in the, like, far north of the islands.
Okay,
but,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, to the project thing, though. My project idea was just the idea of, like, finishing the battle. Like, getting to the end of the war.
Okay. In what sense, though?
Like, leading to an all-scale, like, invasion of one of the sides or destruction of one of the sides.
So, like, both sides start preparing, like, for, like, a final offensive, I guess?
Yeah, that, or the other idea, if we're talking about, like, the seasons and stuff like that, it could be just, like, 5 weeks of preparing for this rainy season and probable, like, flooding and all that, and then wanting to, like, save up their food and such.
Okay. So, which direction do you want
Well,
to
that's what I want to ask everybody else. What do we think? Bottoms, what do you think?
Huh?
What do you think?
What's the question? I'm sorry.
So the thing I'm doing right now is starting a project. Should it be, it's starting a big project. It has to be specifically 5 weeks. Should it be that they are getting to the end of the war, or like going to a final offensive, or should it be that they are preparing for the rainy season, which is like their equivalent of winter, I guess, with flooding and all that stuff?
For the sake of ending the game, I think preparing for like finalizing the war would be a cool capstone.
Okay.
If we get to it.
Oh, hi, Miobi. Miobi's in chat and says, can't stay but want to say hi and say Bottoms is a cutie.
Teehee.
Hello.
Hi, Miobi. Thanks for stopping by.
So my thought would be, we don't have to actually end the war, because the Frost Shepherds are going to arrive, and anything that's in progress is just going to end. And I think there might be something more poignant in, like, the war is still ongoing, but now it doesn't matter anymore, Or the war was ongoing, and then it just ended much more suddenly than anyone thought it would.
I think I like the idea of keeping it up a little bit to chance.
Okay.
Because if we do it so it's like getting to this final offensive, it doesn't necessarily mean the war will be over, but like maybe one of the sides will be like very damaged or something like that.
That's fair.
And also there's the possibility that the king will come up before this project is finished.
That's true.
In which case that could happen.
That's true.
All right. So yeah, then I think it's a sound project.
Mm-hmm.
So you were thinking of
Like,
going for like the preparing for the.
let's say the battalions are like preparing, because they've been the ones that are like really going all out and trying to like with their weapons and stuff like that. They're gonna go out for an all-out attack against them. So question here is, should it be the fight itself that lasts for 5 weeks, or should it be them preparing for the fight that lasts 5 weeks?
I think it's the preparation.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Mhm.
So preparing for an all-out attack against the Kilovaz. Their own
All right.
sort of weirdo revolution with their own thought process.
Let me know when you're ready for the next turn.
Will do.
Or
I
you
still have my action and
project
stuff.
and such.
Oh wait, oh right, I forgot. The fact there was a project made me
Yeah.
forget.
And that's 5 weeks.
Yes.
Okay. All right, and let's advance the other projects right now. All right. Now, Pepper, what's your other action?
So it's discussion or
Discovery or new project?
how many projects do we have now?
3, I believe.
Fixing like crops, improving healthcare and
4.
stuff, contact algae, retiring attack prep. Thinking. I want to do more with Iglay, but I don't know exactly what that would be. Because, I don't know, doing the Iglay stuff last turn was really fun.
It was.
Do you have any thoughts about Iglay, Jody?
What was that?
Do you have any thoughts about Iglay?
I have thoughts for when the algae project finishes, but
That's the other one.
yeah. Well, that's part of what I was thinking.
Okay.
I mean, I have a thought.
What?
What if Iglay herself officially declares Sabuska to be like essentially the not quite devil, but sort of like the Satan figure of her religion?
The adversary.
Would
Yeah.
Which would be more fitting for that? Would it be Sabuska or Algae to be that?
I think
devil?
Sabuska.
Yeah, people are kind of worshiping algae and algae and Iglay as like the same, or not as the same deity, but as like part of the same faith. So it could be that that Iglay would take offense to that and would be like, no, don't, like algae's bad actually. Or it could just be more focused on like, no, Sabuska's actually like the devil.
Okay. So either that, I think, or maybe even a discussion about this final fight. Which also I'm gonna call contempt on myself for that final fight, the building up to it. Let's say I kind of want to hold a discussion actually.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't do a lot of those.
I'm gonna say it's a discussion, where I guess the thing would be. I can sense we're getting near the end of this. Who's gonna come out on top?
At the end of nearing the end of the war.
Yeah, the end of the war. Who's gonna come out on top? And then it'll be Bottoms will be the next response.
As long as the fighting ends, I don't think I care who wins.
Okay, I'm sorry, Judith.
It's not too late to work together.
Oh.
Zach.
thinking on. Um, hopefully this fight ends pretty soon.
Oh, did I do too many L's?
Maybe even if it's as long as it ends soon.
Yeah.
Our differences are irreconcilable. The kill of us must be toppled, or we will not last.
The battalions are cruel and uncivilized.
All right. You ready for Badams' turn?
I was almost gonna make that my last line, just be "fuck them battalions," but I changed my mind. Yes, it is Badams' turn. It's
All right. Oh, holy shit.
The king.
King of Spades.
Wow.
well.
Do we want to keep this going a little bit longer, or how are you feeling, Badams? Do you want to take this turn?
Badams, do you want to finish the game? That's the question.
I'm fine with the game ending. I don't know if I want to be the one to finish it.
Well, I mean,
I feel like that could be like a group thing if
Like,
we
we
are.
can finish out the round.
yeah, like
Just draw 3 more cards, like
Yeah.
one for you, me, and then Zach.
and then after
Like,
Zach, the Frost Shepherds arrive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what the team wants to do?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, sounds good to me too.
If you'd
And
be
that'll
okay-
like also wrap us up at a pretty good
Yeah.
time.
It would.
So this is officially going to be the last stream of the Quiet Year, then.
Yeah.
God
Oh, no.
dang it.
Sorry, my cat is trying to chew wires.
Aw, kitty. Well, here we go, chat. Thing is getting real big. Oh, goodness. Real big, real fast.
All right.
And
That's
put on
what
a
she
different
said?
song. Hey. Hey.
Oh, you know what this means also. The timing means that the final attack from the battalions will not actually happen.
That's true. It's just like you were saying. Like
Yeah.
I told you it could go that way.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's right before they do their final attack, and then things go all bad.
So Judith, can you pull another card for Badams?
I sure can. Jack of Spades. One sec. My cat is attacking my foot.
Gideon.
I need a sec. He's in a really bitey mood. I'm gonna play with him to distract him a bit. I think he just needs some playtime.
I got a project finishes early. Which one? Why?
Wait,
That's
no,
the only
you're
option.
I
Jack.
think you're looking at the wrong season.
Oh, I am on the wrong one. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
no
I had to
problem.
like zoomed in. I didn't have the title up.
Fair enough.
My bad.
No, you're fine.
An infected outsider arrives seeking amnesty. They have some much needed resources with them. Choose one. Welcome them into the community. Remove a scarcity, but also introduce an infection into the community. Bar them from entry. What scarcity could they have addressed? How does its need become more dire this week?
Interesting.
Keep in mind, even though we know that the Pugnatus are about to arrive, no one else does.
Yes.
And we could also like lead into that. Like maybe this is the first human or something like that.
Oh.
Mm.
We could do that.
Maybe the Cognatus Empire. I mean, I'm sure they must be. I mean, they are aware of these islands. Maybe they are already aware of the people too, and this is them trying to like put someone in here or something like that. I'm just giving ideas though, Badams. This is yours. I'm just throwing out thoughts.
I like the idea of it being the first human that they see.
And I guess what do you think they do when they see him? Which of those two options do you think they take? And also, I guess
would expect our community at this point, knowing that they're sick, we would
Yeah.
definitely turn them away.
And especially with
majority of us.
especially with the scarcity of trust.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, what scarcity could
What
this
if it's
person...
Zabuska? Is what someone probably says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What scarcity?
So I would probably
could they
say
have
like
addressed?
overwhelming.
Overwhelm. Oh, like
What are our scarcities again?
Let me take a look. We have scarcities of crops, freedom, health, trust, and an abundance of fear that we are treating as a scarcity, essentially.
It could be worsening trust, where we turn them away and feel like so confident in that decision that we're more set in our beliefs than we were before they came.
So this person could have helped address, like, could have helped people kind of mend bridges and begin
Like
trusting again, but now
broadening.
they just absolutely can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe more like xenophobic.
Yeah.
Joey, what do you think about this finale music?
I like it. It's really. I was actually going to comment on it. It's really atmospheric.
I have a good idea for my final curtain.
Just one sec.
I'm gonna share my screen in case anyone else wants to hear this finale music.
Okay. And I guess we will now advance the projects.
For a second, I thought this was the music that plays in Shadow of the Colossus when you kill a Colossus.
Oh. Stab me in the heart, why don't you, Judith?
No, I would stab you in one of your glowing weak points, obviously.
Mine would be my heart. Alright. What is your action, Badams?
Feels weird starting something new.
Yeah. But, like, people,
Discovering or starting.
and people don't know that things are about to end. That was the premise of the entire game, right?
That's true.
We know that the Frost Shepherds are about to arise, but
Frost
as far as
Shepherds being the Empire.
yes, the Cognized Empire. We know the Cognized Empire is at their doorstep, but they don't know that. And
There's
they
probably
would
a
still
fleet
wanna-
on the way right now.
sorry,
There's probably a fleet on the way right now.
probably a fleet on the way right now. So without knowing that,
What are the golem things called again?
Tall Riders?
Tall riders. What if a tall rider like corpse is found deep in the forest
So,
during
My-
one of the expeditions?
my mistake there is Tall Riders are the people that ride them. The things are called Creeping Goliaths.
Okay, well
think
I
it's
suppose
ride.
both. Maybe a tall rider and a Goliath, like remains of what once was a group of them.
and these are found in Kanopika.
Right.
Judith, you hearing this music?
I am.
It's so dramatic.
Some of the stuff in the
It
YouTube
is.
like audio library is pretty good.
Yeah.
Sorry, you mentioned the YouTube audio library, and now I'm thinking of one of those like 10 songs that people used to put on videos in like the mid to late 2000s.
Yeah, the audio library used to be small.
Badams, is that it for your turn?
I think so.
Okay. So Judith, it's now you.
All right. Ace of Spades. Now is the time to conserve energy and resources. A project fails, but gain in abundance. Or, now is the time for hurried labor and final efforts. A project finishes early, but gain a scarcity. Okay, I'm definitely going for hurried labor.
Okay.
What projects do we have?
Right now we have fixing the crops again, which is 1 week away from finishing. We have improving healthcare and such, which is also a week away from finishing, or it's going to finish this week. We have 3 things that are going to finish this week.
Okay. Well,
Contact
I'm
Algae.
going to do the. Ooh.
There's something real huge you could do.
Oh, yeah. Wait, Pepper, you didn't start a project to finish the war, did you?
I did.
Okay, you did, because, yeah, I think I want to finish that one.
Oh.
Alright. That was what I was thinking. Like, that you could do a really big thing right here.
That is what I was thinking would be a really intense move to do, and honestly, unless people have an issue with it, that's what I'm picking.
Okay, no, so the final attack is happening, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Imagine the battalions fight and beat them, and then freaking the Cognizant Emperor arrives right after the revolution.
Honestly,
Yeah.
we could flip a coin to see what the outcome is.
We could.
That could be fun.
Or, I mean... Okay, it's not my project, so I don't get authorship.
No, you do if you finish it early.
Yeah, this is yours.
Okay. Okay. Because... Yeah, Okay, since we already know the Cognatus Empire are showing up, like, we've drawn it at this point, can I make an executive decision that I've been thinking about making for, like, weeks and weeks at this point?
Pitch it. Let's hear it.
Okay. Like, I get to decide who wins or loses the conflict, technically.
You do.
Yeah. Oh, and you know something else before you do that? This gives us a scarcity also.
Yeah.
So so it's like kind of leaning into the dramatic irony here. The scarcity could be in military might, which lets Cognatus invade easily.
Yeah, that is absolutely what I'm going to add. Not only that, I am going to say that the battalion trade post with the battalion like outpost with the Cognatus Empire succeeded in contact, so Taro specifically invites some units from there to join them in attacking the Moonlight Island.
Oh, shit.
And he manages to kill Tilte, but he and the entire invasion force die in the process, and they don't take the island.
Oh. So they kill Tilte, but he dies, and they don't, and the Killovas continue to hold the island.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no one necessarily wins, but the battalions have wiped out a significant amount of their own troops in the process.
Okay. I'm really. What's the battalion person's name? I'm completely blanking.
I mean, I think Taro was effectively their only leader remaining.
Yeah.
So they basically both have, like, equivalent loss at the end?
Yeah, but the Killovas are still there.
So are we saying, like, every single battalion's dead?
No,
just most of their troops. Like, I'm gonna say more battalion troops died than... Ooh, actually, you know what? Okay, what I'm trying to set up is something where, no matter what, I think the Church of Igle should survive.
Yeah,
I think that can still happen even if they take the island.
Yeah, like, I think it's
So
interesting.
yeah, they take the island but wipe out most of their own troops in the process. How about that?
Yeah, I do think it's interesting, in my personal opinion, for the battalions to win. Their, like, revolution to win, only to be, like, drowned in the Cognatus Empire directly afterwards.
And not only that, but the point of them inviting Cognatus troops along with them.
Yeah, that's gonna hang over them.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's absolutely going to taint their legacy.
Yeah.
Can we add some extra irony here and be like, no one knows about this other than Taro, but, like, once they take the island, like, it's one of the military Cognatus Empire generals that just kills them in the end.
I like that.
And no one knows about it except for Taro, but now he's killed. Because they know they're gonna take over this place, but no one else does.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. And, like, cards on the table, I wanted to make the battalions a resistance faction in our next game, and I think this makes them much more interesting.
Yeah. I'm liking this.
Yeah.
Bottom Zach, how you feeling?
I'm liking this.
Yep.
Right. Zach, are you? Wait, no, I'm sorry. That was the card. We still have to advance all the clocks. Several of them complete this week, and then we also have your action. So, first, fixing the moonlight crops again finishes. Whose was that? Was that me? That might have been me.
I think that was you.
Okay.
We keep forgetting whose is whose.
I keep forgetting whose is whose. I should have labeled
I
them.
do too.
So, the moonlight crops are fixed just after the battle happens, because now they have enough forces, including maybe help from Cognatus.
Oh, this sucks.
Yeah. One sec.
This sucks in the best story writing sort of way.
Yeah, you can see why I was, like, kind of trying to plan an ending like this for weeks and weeks.
Yes, I appreciate
I've
it.
been making subtle choices to try and build up to this.
It's perfect.
Yeah, I think... Oh. Because... Oh, there's all this food, and there's all these Cognatus troops here. The Cognatus troops also eat these crops and also become addicted to the prions, and suddenly... That is a big need they didn't know they had, and suddenly these islands seem much more interesting to them.
That's true. They could use that. They're gonna start doing a Ronald Reagan.
Idiot, stop it.
That
He's trying to eat
that does make
wires
sense,
again.
right?
Yeah. I mean, you could have really said any U.S. president there and it would have worked, but I got what you meant.
But like in the fact that like spreading drugs to like
Yeah. Oh, that's fair.
that's what I meant.
Fair.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I did not pick up on what specifically you meant.
Like
I
they
didn't
could
understand
use this
quite
to
immediately that
control.
you meant the crack epidemic,
Alright.
but yes.
Yeah, that.
Next project.
Improving healthcare.
Sorry, it's getting kind of late, so I want to...
Yeah, we will be done soon. Improving healthcare, curing the disease, and understanding the prion better. That project is done. Zach, I think that was yours.
Yeah.
So what does this look like?
What does it look like? Sorry, Mama. Help me out.
So,
Go on.
I'm sorry, you asked for help, right?
Yeah.
So I think that, having a better healthcare infrastructure is definitely helpful right after a big battle. Troops
Yeah.
from both sides end up being, helped by this. And this also, we mentioned that a big part of this was understanding the prion. Everyone understands better why exactly these crops have been having this effect and why lacking them is making people sick. Speaking of, I should get rid of that health scarcity. But the Cognatus troops who are also there also get this understanding of what exactly happened. Like, what exactly is special about these crops.
I can agree with that.
Sorry?
I can agree with that.
I can agree with that.
Okay.
Next project?
One sec. I have to finish these notes.
Oh, yeah, sure thing.
I have an interesting idea for my final turn.
So about this final battle, I guess this would also be up to you then, Judith. What came of the 30 hired tall riders?
Ooh. I think most of them were wiped out, but some of them... Some of them, the remaining ones, joined up with the battalions.
Ooh, okay.
not so much in a military sense, but to integrate into their society.
Okay. And if I remember correctly, they're like plant people, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The final project that has finished is to contact algae. This is
I
among
think that
the
was also
Bertalians.
yours, Jody.
Was it? Oh, it was. You're right.
Oh, Jody.
So I can go multiple ways on this. Part of me wanted it to be that, like, as they contact algae, they realize that algae is just like another aspect of Iglay, like they're the same god. I'm wondering if that's less interesting than that they have actually created something fundamentally separate here. Maybe Iglay was the only one, but their worship created like a split.
That, or maybe it just like affected Iglay. So like Iglay, because algae was supposed
Can
to
I
be like.
make a pitch?
Can I finish mine?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
It's okay. So like the mechanical aspects, right? That were there.
Mm-hmm.
What if those were like applied onto Iglay? So it's like Iglay is this human-looking thing, but like shrink-wrapped with fur feather things, thin skin, but also with this like partially mechanical body. I think that could be really interesting. That's just me thinking of like a character design aspect, because I like doing that.
So like shrink wrapped, but like more with mechanical aspects.
Yeah, like
Okay.
partially mechanical, partial like automaton.
That makes sense.
But what's your pitch, Judith?
My pitch is algae is functionally an AI. And through handwave relic magic stuff has essentially sapped some of Iglay's power. So it is functionally a god at the same level as Iglay, but is, in terms of consciousness, an AI.
You know, that's interesting because AI do exist. One of my characters is an AI of the exact same manner, who is like functionally a god.
Oh, that's
Molly.
That's Molly, right? Yeah, that's interesting. I like setting that up.
So
I like the
this-
implications.
Like
Is-
poetry, it rhymes.
There's another AI.
Damn
as
it,
well.
Judith.
I like it.
Yeah.
So, which are we going with?
We could also so just to add even more of that, we could say both, even.
Yeah.
Like, what if this mechanical aspects of Iglay, and Iglay is in her entirety is the AI, and the mechanical aspects are draining her.
I think I want to go with that Iglay is not like
They're separate.
Iglay, like, they started separate, or rather Iglay was the only one that existed,
Okay.
and then the worship of algae kind of added another aspect to her that wasn't there before.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
But like,
like the mechanical aspects.
I mean, aspect in like the way that you often see in a lot of like fantasy media, where it's like it's not just like, or not even just fantasy media. I think this was how some like ancient Greek gods sometimes worked.
Yeah,
with, like,
Hermes
aspects
split off of Pan, for
Yeah.
instance. He was originally an epithet of Pan,
Yeah,
and eventually they kind of split off into being two separate gods.
yeah. Like at this stage, I'm gonna say they're still very linked, but they are. Yeah, they are different gods that are invoked differently, but they are like their origin is the same, and
Okay.
people worship them as part of the same.
Okay.
Let's-
And as you write that, I'm gonna read off this last one too, just for a recap to the chat, or like a summary to the chat. Battalion attack finally happens. It happens early. Battalion trade group was successful in contacting Cognatus and invited Cognatus's forces to help. Tilte and Taro both die. Attack is successful, but many Battalion troops died. Taro was secretly killed by the Cognatus, and some Kilova Tall Riders joined Battalion Society. The rest died. Moonlight Farm is fixed following the battle with help from Cognatus. Many Cognatus troops gain the Prion dependency. Okay, healthcare improvements complete. Everything is healed better than they otherwise would have been from the battle. All parties, including Cognatus, understand the Prion and its dependency better. Can I add to that the Cognatus kind of has like intentions with that?
That what?
The Cognatus Empire has intentions with the Prions.
Yeah, I thought that was implied, but If that's okay with Zach.
From right here?
Yeah, because that was Zach's.
Okay. Many Cognizant troops gain...
Oh, wait, no. I thought you meant the healthcare one, right?
No, this.
Oh, well, I guess that was...
Gain the Prion dependency.
Yeah, that was me, wasn't it? Yeah, it's fine.
And, okay. And intentions on how to use it. Okay.
Do I get my action?
Yes, I believe we're done with the projects.
All right. Since it's the second to last turn, can I hand wave a discover as effectively an instant kind of project?
Possibly. Let's hear it.
Honestly, I can frame this in a way that it's a discover. Sabuska guides Bimas to Kadran, where he reveals that he has drained most of the radiation from the reactor, so that in the future Bimas can set up a temple to Sabuska there. So the idea being everyone else thinks that Kadran is still cursed, so no one's going to look there.
Interesting.
So, to continue...
So in a way it is still kind of cursed.
You and I had similar thoughts along these lines. I had thoughts about like what Kadron would look like in our next game, and this is along the same lines, but not compatible with it. But I like this a lot more, actually.
So,
yeah. Also, the radiation is not fully gone. I want to be clear about that. It is at the level where, let's say, maybe it causes mutations, but it is not fatal anymore.
So radiation in this world, we're gonna say causes mutations?
Yeah, it's like, think like Chernobyl exclusion zone levels.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like, wait.
Like,
real world mutations were like
when you say
small.
when you say Chernobyl exclusion zone, do you mean in real life or in Stalker?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe slightly more like in Stalker.
Okay.
Because in real world, not much happened in
Yes,
terms of
I
mutating.
know. I'm aware.
I was just
This
confused.
Yeah, no, I realize that. Yeah, but this is also a hand-wave fantasy world.
Okay.
It's funny. I was thinking of the radiation purely in real world terms, but like,
I kind of was too.
why
for
was
some
I
reason.
doing that?
Yeah, I don't know why. I was also. That's why I was like mutations, huh? Anyways, I did just want to read the last part of it. So, Bertalions finished contacting Auge. Auge is a god, functionally equivalent to Igle, but is an AI. Igle is the one that existed originally. Auge is an aspect that was created via worship. Both are linked but separate. Discovery, Sabuska guides Bimas to Kadran and reveals that he has drained the radiation so Bimas can build a church to Sabuska there.
I think that does work as like a one-turn thing. I think that's fine.
And I have a question about... So, Auge was an AI created through this, whereas my other character who is an AI, is Molly, is an AI left over from the crash ship.
Yeah, so these are not the same thing.
They aren't equivalent, okay.
Although, like, this came about because the Battalions had found, like, an AI in the ruins, basically, that helped them. Or, not... I don't know if it was an active AI, but, like, they found blueprints.
Yeah.
And... Yeah.
They got automatons.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, we can...
If we want to do a really interesting thing... I mean, this would require time travel being added to this universe, but what if Auge in the future becomes Igle in the past? We don't need to address this now, but
Yeah.
that's a thing to like just drop as a concept.
I'll file that away. That might
The
work.
time travel stuff, I think, like, this is one of the things I actually, like, have big thoughts about with my world because of, like, the 3D time thing, is that, like, time travel can happen, but not in a way where, like, you can go back in time and make something not happen or happen. You can go back in time and do things, but both things will be real, and not even in separate dimensions. They'll both be real in the same place.
Oh, so this is like how every ending of Daggerfall is simultaneously.
Yes, exactly that.
Okay, cool.
Like, that's what happened with my other tabletop series. Monster Play had time travel of a similar sort to it.
I like that. That's cool.
It
So-
created two separate real Raynels.
Zach's turn.
Yes. All right, Zach, finish us up. What card?
4 of spades.
4 spades. Okay, 4 spades is.
Oh wow, this one's rough.
All animals and young children are crying and won't stop. Hold a discussion about this in addition to your regular action for this week. The great atrocity is revealed.
Oh shit.
What is it? This goes into we have one for the final discovery.
Awesome.
Also, I'm sorry, I just need to stop and say, all the animals and young children are crying and won't stop goes so hard. I love that.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That's menacing.
I don't know which one of the two, because both of them can go into the final discovery of one.
Uh-huh.
I guess I'll go with one. No, two. I'll go with two.
So a great atrocity is
Great
revealed.
atrocity? Yeah.
Okay.
So what's the atrocity?
The idea that I have is a freshly severed giant serpent tail is washed up ashore, and everyone is terrified.
So like a Sabuska sort of thing?
Yeah, because once he killed a guy, it's a bad omen. So no one knows who did it.
Oh, that's true.
So something happened to Sabuska,
Yeah,
basically.
and a freshly cut tail is washed up on shore.
So we were saying that it was discovered that Sabuska is like tendrils and of snakes all wrapped up. So would it be like a big snake?
Probably. Huh?
Okay.
Any objections?
I mean, I'm not sure if this is an atrocity.
That's true. Like an atrocity would imply it's something done by someone in the community, or done by someone else to the community.
So like you could have that as your separate discovery, maybe.
Okay. So atrocity. Okay.
So there are some things that could happen if I have I have a thought
Feel free.
for free.
Feel free.
I know. What about the atrocity of like the Cognized Empire killing Taro?
Oh, does that come to light?
Like, what if that was revealed somehow? That's a thought,
Okay.
Zach. That's my pitch.
That could work.
Do you have any other ideas though?
No. I just been thinking of the final discovery.
Okay.
Because, like, there could be, like, massacres that happened during the war that we don't know about or stuff like that.
Yeah.
I have more to I have another thought.
Okay.
If we want to do the discovery you were mentioning earlier, what if we have it so like it said like all the animals and young children are crying and won't stop for some reason, and it's because a body part of the devil god, which is Sabuska, has washed up,
And like to be
and
clear,
it's somehow making everyone cry and unable to stop.
like they're not crying because oh my god no Sabuska, I hope he's
No,
okay, but just
they
because
just-
the presence of it is like
It's just overpowering and controls them, and like for
That
some
works.
reason they're crying, and that's scary. I like that idea. What do you think of that?
Okay. We'll go. Hold on that one.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold
That's some Lovecraftian like incomprehensible sort of stuff. Just something
Yeah.
shows up and no one can stop crying. That's freaky. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have to hold a discussion about this in addition to your regular action. Which I guess we can do now because like we don't have project locks to advance, so we can just do this whenever.
So you get to start a discussion about everyone crying and there being this.
Okay. I start the discussion.
Yes. With either a question or a statement.
I'll start with the question. who who did this?
And then it'll be you, Jody.
Huh. I don't know. Could this have been? Could we have done this in the war somehow? Like, was this an accident? Okay, and Pepper. Or I guess I should ask before we really get into this. Do people know, like, people are connecting the crying to the tail? Like, they figured out that's what's causing the crying?
Yeah.
Okay.
When it's a kid. No, I'm joking. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. My kid won't stop crying, and I'm scared. My child won't stop crying. Even better.
All right. Badams.
Could I get a refresh on the topic for it?
It was...
Everyone is crying, or the children and animals are crying uncontrollably because a body part of Sabuska, freshly severed, washed up on shore.
And they're not crying because it's sad. Somehow it is
Yeah.
making them cry because it is a godly, like, body part. And they can't control
Right.
themselves.
Do we know of any other things like this happening on other islands?
I think this seems pretty, like...
Wait,
no,
is that-
I think that was
that was the statement.
contribution to the
Oh, I
discussion.
misunderstood.
Yeah.
I misunderstood, my bad.
I got where you were coming from, Adams.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay. Judith?
This is an omen of things to come. Only if Iglay and Algae make common cause can we weather this.
Just another one of just being like, I think something's about to happen.
I
Something
mean,
bad's coming.
even if you didn't know something bad was about to happen, if this happened, you would.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
I feel like some kind
it.
of cold shepherd is arriving. I don't know
Some
what to make
cold,
of
some
this.
cold sheep herder.
Yeah, and Zach, because you asked the question, you can finish this up.
I suppose the fishermen were correct.
I had a
That almost
moment.
feels like a zinger.
Yeah. I had a moment there because Pepper and I were just watching live action.
I
Monkeys.
also thought
So
fishman.
like Fishman,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm glad it wasn't just me.
Also, what if you say it's like a zinger? What if this was one of the fishermen saying this? It's like,
Oh,
I
wow,
guess those
I don't
fishermen
want
were
to say
right.
I told you so, but and Zach, you have another action. Although you were talking about how you kind of wanted to tie that into your discovery. Do you have something else in mind for your second action, or?
I don't have anything in mind. I'm free to discussion. with the
Well,
people.
I actually had a thought about that. So, it says all the animals and young children are crying. You won't stop. Hold a discussion, in addition to your regular action. So I'm assuming that the discovery of that thing is the regular action still.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Because
makes
That's what I
sense.
thought.
It wasn't.
So
part
we
of
kind
it.
of tied all that together. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Alright.
So that's the end of it.
That's the end
Yeah,
of it.
that's an ominous note to leave off on.
Yeah, I think the next week starts and people look at the horizon to the north and they just see a massive armada coming for
Can
them.
we say it, just to add some extra ominous aspect to it? Can they be coming from the same direction that the thing washed up on shore?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And like they just start like crying, going like, "Yeah, this is it. This is it."
Yeah. And
the
what level of technology does Cognatus have at this point? Would it be like flying ships, or are we talking about like iron ships, or are we talking about wood ships?
Probably there'll probably be some iron ships.
Okay.
If they have flying things, it would be like kind of like steampunk sort of flying things,
Okay.
you know, not like planes.
Okay.
And I add a fun
And not like
flourish.
spaceships either.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But not what?
Not like spaceships either.
No.
Okay. What are you thinking, Judith?
Flourish to potentially add. Although no one is there to see both at the same time, as the ships start to crest over the horizon, both Aigle and Auge flicker for a moment.
Like flicker
Just
out
for
of
a moment.
existence?
No, just their lights just flicker for a
Oh.
second.
Interesting.
Can I draw something?
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna draw.
Also, so like I've talked a little bit about the blue mist. I don't know if I've talked about it in this series before. Does anyone know what the blue mist is?
No.
Nuh-uh.
Joey, do you know?
Yes, I think so.
So in my previous series, Monster Play, which I guess where we are in this story hasn't happened yet, but basically the Cognis Empire has this thing called the Blue Mist, which is
Yeah.
basically magic electricity. It helps them power up a lot of stuff. What was the thing in Arcane?
Oh, like hex tech?
Kind of like that, like yeah, like what? Hex
The
tech,
pink stuff?
the stuff that powers Hex
Oh.
tech.
Like those the crystals, like the
Yeah.
stones.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it's just called magic.
well, it's from the Brackern.
Either way.
Oh right, but they don't know that, do they? Or whatever. It's not.
Well,
Either way,
I don't know if they
it's
say
that
it in
stuff.
Arcane. I don't remember.
So they have Blue Mist that is basically a power supply. A lot of electricity and magic sort of power can come from it. The Congress Empire has made it out to be as if this stuff is extremely dangerous to touch. And that, like, normal people can't do it unless you're highly trained. And basically what they mean is only the government, only the Empire, the people working for the Empire are allowed to use it. But at this point in time, it would be pretty secretive. Like a lot of regular places, because this is like 200 years ago, we said.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of regular places wouldn't have it yet. Big part of Monster Play was the fact that it was discovered that this stuff doesn't hurt you, it doesn't cause damage, it doesn't infect you when you come in contact with it, like they made it out to be. So it was also spread out into the waters. In a way, because it came from these fish, these special magical fish.
And that was actually part of the impetus for what our next game was going to be. I was going to say that our next game will take place sometime after that, when this as a power source has become much more common.
Yeah, it's become accessible
and
to
maybe
the masses.
some kind of weird Magitech mechas start becoming possible.
Yeah.
Because of it.
So like the populace will have gained the use of this stuff, but as of where we are with the end of this story, it's very secretive. In this point in time, Cox Empire doesn't even want people to know it exists yet, but they are probably using it for the ships, which they are using to approach here, I think.
What I was wondering, you tried to bring up Blue Mist earlier, I think, when we were talking about like the bioluminescence.
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
Could this have been where Cognatus got that from in the first place?
That could be really cool. That could really tie things together in a great way.
Yeah.
I'm for that. So maybe they don't have it yet, but like these Zyphids is where it comes from.
Yeah.
And that's perfect because
I
I have
love
a
that.
I have a drawing of the fish. I don't know if I have it up anymore, but someone drew the Zyphids a while ago. So this
Yeah,
not the Zyphids. Yeah, you
I did draw the Zyphids.
You
at
drew
one
the
point. I think I
Zyphids.
sent that.
and Monster Play someone drew the fish. So like maybe the Zyphids have like the illuminescence of this, but then they are able to like breed them with these fish that make it where it actually becomes like a real power source.
Yeah. So maybe Cognatus is using basically just like, they're not using that kind of magical tech yet. They're using, they're using relic tech maybe, or they're just using just a lot of regular old wooden ships. But from their conquest of Notosia, that's where they get a lot of their power for a lot of their other conquests around the world.
Yeah, so they're gonna find the Zyphids, and the research that the Lopi have done on the Zyphids, they're gonna really push down the Lopi as a community, as a people. They're gonna erase a lot of their culture. That's what they do. They're gonna implant their own people here, probably make military outposts, all that, and they're gonna take these Zyphids, see that they have potential, breed them with these other fish, and create the new fish, which I forget the name of currently, but they do have a name, and get their real power source that is going to become a massive thing for the world in years to come.
I like that. That's
And
also I did an ominous little drawing of Sabuska.
I was gonna say,
or not little, it's pretty big.
Yeah, I was just I love that drawing. I was watching you do that.
Like, I don't want it to have even a slightly humanoid form.
Yeah.
It is just an entity of pure chaos.
So no, like, Rykard face on any of these, just like...
No Rykard face.
Okay.
What
It's
did-
just a ball of snakes.
What did Zach draw? Where is that?
It's. Well, let me pull it up. It's on the left, upper left.
Oh, is it the X thing? Okay.
So, like, you can see how if someone saw one of those heads poking out of the water, like maybe one
Yeah.
of the larger ones, they would be like, oh my god, it's a sea serpent.
Well,
Oh wait,
Or
retroactively.
it's a shapeshifter, right. Also it's a shapeshifter, so yeah, maybe
I
it
thought-
was in the form of a
yeah.
sea serpent.
yeah. Okay.
Retroactively, instead of being a tail of Sabuska, do we want it to be one of the heads? That
That's kind of what I
washes up?
thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, sure.
I mean, I thought it was... I wasn't gonna say this, but I thought it'd be interesting if it's like, if it washes up as a tail, but it is constantly in the process of shifting through different types of tails.
Yeah.
That could be cool.
Or constantly trying to regrow into, like, another
Oh.
snake.
Imagine
No,
no,
maybe
no, kind of that, but kind of not that. More so what Judith said, but like imagine you find it, like people come across the body, right? And it's just
Well-
a tail. How is that?
Good.
They come across it as the tail just on the beach, and then they just know it's there. They come back the next day, and suddenly that tail has a head, but then the next day it's gone again, and it's just a tail again, and it is like constantly shifting, but never when anyone looks at it, I guess.
Or
It's
you just look back
Oh.
at it and it's like, oh, that's
It's
not what it
different
looked
now.
Like
That's
before.
scary.
Yeah. Huh.
that makes me uncomfortable.
I like that. We're gonna have fun with
Well,
Sabuska.
Yeah, I agree.
Going with the idea. Sorry, good.
No, Zach, I think you can go.
Go with the idea of it regrowing. It's freshly cut. So it
Yes.
still bleeds.
Mm.
It's trying to regrow, but it
Oh.
can't.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
so broken, you know?
Yeah,
good.
what if like specifically because of that it keeps trying to regrow, but the part that's regrowing doesn't have skin on it, and it just keeps withering in the sun.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
Is that too intense?
No, that's
No,
good.
I like that.
No, this world is gonna be. It can be intense.
Yeah. Well, I genuinely wasn't expecting us to finish our game of the Quiet Year this week.
Me neither.
I thought it was a possibility, but I didn't think it was going to happen.
We
Same.
had a like 1 or so in 13 chance.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Well, actually,
Alright.
since I think it was since we finished a full round, it was technically like 5 in 13 chance we were gonna do that.
Yeah, that's
It's.
fair.
I still do prefer that it happened this week than next week, because if it happened next week, we'd probably have like a 30-minute stream.
Yeah, I was worried about
Yeah.
that.
So this is perfect.
Yeah. So,
Alright.
we are probably not going to stream next week, I would say, because we have some character building to do and some
Yes.
setting building.
I have
And
a ton of notes to send you, Jody.
Oh, I'm excited.
send these notes also to the server, so
and-
like everyone
Yeah.
can take a look.
I haven't
Yeah.
said this on mic, but we are going to be playing Armor Stir Advent. I'm very excited. This is a Powered by the Apocalypse game that it's very cool from what I've seen. We're going to be playing with magical mechas.
Yes.
Which should be a lot of fun. Which means I have to finish reading that book, the instruction book.
So before the next stream, we'll figure out when it is, because this was kind of the prequel to the actual series. The actual series is going to be a little bit more like standard tabletop in terms of us like playing characters and everything like that, and going through a story through a POV of a person. rather than the entire community.
Except for
going
the
to-
conflict turns, which you folks are welcome to participate in, but you don't have to.
And we're going to basically I think we should have a recap written of everything that happened this year.
Yes. Good idea.
And have that for the stream
Mhm.
and how everything connects here. I am loving how this ended.
Yeah, this is
Like,
good.
with the fact that this was actually kind of the origin of the Blue Mist, and none of us expected that.
Yeah.
Also, I know no one here really knew what the Blue Mist was before anyways, but still, that's super exciting to me, because like that was like a huge thing that the entire Monster Play
It's
season led up to.
It's so funny to me, Pepper,
Yeah.
that we were talking about this bioluminescence being used to fuel flashlights, and neither you or I thought about it in that moment.
Yeah,
It's really funny.
yeah.
Credit to
Is-
Badams for like just that idea of a
Yeah.
fish dovetailing, like a jellyfish fish monster dovetailing so perfectly.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
really good.
Thank you, Badams.
Yippee.
Like, I'm really happy with how everyone contributed to this. Like,
Yeah.
everyone had ideas that ended up being really important, and that's what I wanted. That's really cool.
It all came together really well. We tied in things really well. I'm proud of all of us. We made a really solid story here where things connected. There were consequences. There was danger. There was loss. There was
There
growth.
was no happy ending,
No happy ending. This is just a
no
tragedy.
happy middle.
I mean, the point of this game was to be a tragedy because we have to play our next game, which is going to be coming out of that tragedy.
Yeah.
And seeing where we go. It'll probably also be a little bit more lighthearted, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Well, it'll have moments of lightheartedness and moments of much less lightheartedness, but
Yeah.
I think overall it will probably be less of a downer than this.
Yeah, this one had a sad ending.
Yes.
And a lot of sad stuff happened.
Armor Stir is kind of built to have a happy ending, so that's good.
Yeah.
I will just tease for everyone, the character I am planning to play is going to be a Lopi who was raised by tall riders.
Ooh, interesting.
Interesting. I like that.
So instead of like a mechanical mech, she just straight up rides a crawling Goliath.
That works. That works
does.
really well.
Yeah.
I will be sending along like character creation stuff from the Armor Stir book soon. We'll discuss this much more off mic, but
Yeah.
character creation in Armor Stir is somewhat of a collaborative process, like not just with you and the DM, but like with all of us. So we'll discuss that more. It's probably not going to be an on-stream thing, but we'll discuss it more.
Yes. Any final thoughts about this?
I just want
I'm
to thank you.
excited.
I want to thank you all so much for being part of this. This was a lot of fun for me.
It was. I love this.
Likewise.
I love building a world with people, telling a story with people. Like, I have this world. I like started this world, and I've said this several times, but I'm gonna say it again. I started this world with the hope that I could make it with others, and there was a time where, like, especially in Monster Play, where everyone was asking, like, is this a thing in the world? Can I do this? Can I do this? And like, I want it to be a thing that we do together. I want us to be able to make this together. Develop it together. And I think we've successfully done very well with that throughout this series. This was the Quiet Year, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody so much for watching. You're all wonderful, beautiful people. If you'd like to support the channel, please consider becoming a member. If you do get special benefits like emotes, badges, shoutouts, and the possibility of joining me in streams or in my Minecraft realm. Currently, my tier 2 treat is Pie. My tier 3 full tummy is Whoopie-Coon. Thank you for the support. Besides that, you can support through super chats or Streamlabs donations. Those are super helpful. They go towards groceries, basically. Otherwise,
Send my girlfriend's girlfriend money.
please. I mean, also,
It's also going to me basically because we're both eating together.
yes, yes.
Send our polycule money.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you, please.
Otherwise, you can also just check out my Blue Sky or my Discord server in the description below. It was so nice to eat you, everybody. Yummy, yummy. Goodbye, bye. Goodbye, bye. And you want to say
Bye-bye.
anything else before I end this stream?
I think we were muted.
What?
What?
Damn it! I made a goof, and nobody got the goof. It's fucked up.
Oh. What?
Oh, I
Okay.
thought you were being serious, and I was like,
Yeah.
I trust Liz.
Yeah, I was like, are
panicking.
we muted right now?
Like the way we were. At the
Was
beginning of
that the
stream,
goof you're
yeah.
trying to do there, Bottoms?
Yeah,
You
we
didn't.
were muted at the start.
You
That's mean, Bottoms.
you didn't. You said you goofed.
You
No one
act
got
in
it.
the spirit of Sabuska.
You said we didn't get it. We very much so got it, and we were all scared. That's what happened there. Okay.
All
Okay.
right, bye everyone.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody. Goodbye.
Spidere.